Hello, Satyajit here. Once again, I am with Sankar Halder, founder president of Mukti. In the earlier video, we talked about within our education wings, one of the project is TSS, Talented Student Sponsorship. In the same way, today we are going to talk about another project, MSS, Mukti Support School. I think Sankarda, it was also started in around 2006.
Yeah.
So since then, today Mukti Support School is going on. So why not you give a little bit background of it? Like what was the need? Why do we have started this project? And how is it going today?
2005 or 6 at that time, when we are visiting Sundarban, few of the study we did, survey, and then we found that many kids, children, they are getting admission in school, but they are getting dropout when they are going up and up class, especially class 6, 7, 8, when the kids are getting adult. Till then, they were kids, so they were not being able to contribute enough financially into their family. So when they are getting in this particular age, teenage, then instead of going to school, the kids started going with their parents in field or in fishing. And in and the early child marriage also, the girl childs are getting married. So that was the. Then we are thinking that whether we will be starting any school or what kind of things normally we will be doing to address this. In that Sundarban, we found it's only 20% is the education rate at that time. So we had two options. We can do a normal school, but that was not gap. We found the quality of school is the gap.
Because there are enough schools everywhere.
School didn't have enough. The teacher and student ratio is very bad. So sometime in one teacher managing more than 100 student, and the school doesn't have that kind of environment to give the good education. The teachers' quality also is compromised, right? And in today also, even in 2022, when we are talking the same thing, even we just passed our pandemic, even it has the space has been wider. The challenges has been wider. It's because say the first generation educations, first generation learner, I would say, so they almost dropped out. Last 2.5 years, they didn't get any education as such. They got few of the certificate or promoted to the other class.
Yeah, during this pandemic. Yeah.
And also they could not take the advantage of the digital, the technology, because they cannot afford this, right?
Yeah.
So the whole philosophy is that we have school, but school doesn't have quality. Parent is the first generation learner, as parent is not educated enough to guide their kids. They do not have enough money to buy private tuitions or private educations. So what will happen? So gradually when they go up and upper class, that time their education gap is become wider. And in addition to that, when the kids are actually class 7 or 8, if they go into field, it is a double income with parent, with father. And if they go into school, it's a negative income, because even the parent income also X amount will be spent.
That helping hand is getting reduced there.
And also the money also has to
goes to school. Yeah.
Then we thought, let's have kind of a coaching center or support school. Means supporting school is the support school. And we didn't have a kind of a infrastructure's deficits, because we found the schools are in the daytime in few hours only they are spending, but in the evening and the morning the infrastructure is anyway available. So why to make the school infrastructure and then give? Because we can make the infrastructure available for them. So those things actually is the motivations. Then the project, the way we design that unemployed youth 5 in each area minimum, mathematics, English, covering all the subjects. They will be getting infrastructures nearby. We'll be talking to school management or to the club, and the infrastructure available panchayat. And then the morning hour, when it is actually idle infrastructure is not being used, those who they will make it available. We will be giving some fund to them to run the school. They will be getting surrounded all the kids who are studying in high school area, class 5 to 10. And they will be coming in a place, and they will be giving them the coaching 3 hours per day, 5 days in a week. So 15 hours of learning from 5 teachers.
Educated
Teachers and
unemployed, educated but unemployed.
yeah, that's another one point, right? In society, there are so many people are unemployed, sitting idle, they do not have job. So we are engaging them and creating job so that they can also take care of the education. So that's the purpose. So it's a fourth way: the teachers being benefited, unemployed youth being benefited, and parent being benefited, student being benefited, existing school being benefited, and as a whole.
And proper utilization of the infrastructure also.
Yeah, so that way it is, and it's a very lean model. Like we do not have spending on infrastructures. We normally take a minimum fees, and that also we distribute among the teachers. So completely transparently, whatever X amount they are collecting, their 5 teachers are taking. Then the balance fund to keep them motivated. So that we are raising from sponsors, and we are supporting the school, and it's very minimal compared to running a school. It's very less, because not even 2,000 rupees per kids per year. So that kind of a
But
cost.
interestingly, you also talked about one thing, that current school has a issue with the quality. So when you say quality, it's a teaching quality, right? So how this MSS is different in that perspective, or what different thing we are doing?
First thing is that I believe in school, the subject teaching for a specific English, mathematics and other, it has a gap. And especially in the last few years, it has been widened. Actually, the many teachers, they started living near to city, and they visit to village almost 3-4 hours in each way, the traveling times, and they're spending very limited time in school. Earlier the arrangement was different in villages, so teachers used to stay closer to the village, and they used to give enough time to the school. And in addition to that, also not only the curriculum teaching, but also the value educations. If you can remember, when we were in child or beyond that, when the teachers or Guru Mosai in a village, he has a responsible holistic guidance to your kids. What will be your ethics, what will be your normal behavior to how you will be respecting to the senior, juniors, your friend. This kind of, whenever it is they are interacting, they are giving that kind of education. So that's missing grossly. And in addition to that, now because of these livelihood pressures, so the kids are mostly studying the livelihood oriented subjects mostly, and so is a holistic and education, so that education is completely missing. So what we are trying to address, that the implementing the value education as well. So we are educating teachers and parents also how to take care of this part. This is completely neglected now in the current education system, we believe.
And which is much need in society today, the value education.
Correct. And in addition to that, you must acknowledge, Satyajit, that last few years, the kids are actually, moreover, they are entering into the digital life and digitally. So their physical activity, spending time on playground is actually being reducing, right? So it will not sustain, their body will not sustain. When they will turn into 40 to 50 years, everything will collapse, I believe. So we need to take care of their physical part, their health. Yeah. And yoga is one of the proven into it, that yoga part of making various postures to make their structures good. And doing yoga is kind of a also a game in house, right? So making your body perfect. So that also, so value educations, yoga, and your subject teachings has to go hands to hands.
Yeah, an interesting thing is that when you talk about in today's pace of the pace of the development or whatever you call it, as like we all are born with stress, so the children should also know how to manage their anger, their stress, all those things. So I think yoga helps in that area also to create a looking at that stress level or looking at that anger level or some behavioral changes also bit part of it. I think that's an interesting.
To me, frankly speaking, that we need yoga for two things. Unless your health is good, nothing, you cannot do anything. Your health has to be good, and longer life is required for everybody's, and that's the need. In addition of that the health health is two parts: physical health and the mental health. If you study any needy, any meritorious kids, you will see that their concentration level is very high. It's not their effort. Effort is there, but two kids are giving equally effort, or one kid making fantastic result because of their concentrations. The concentration part, actually the yoga makes a big difference. So the improvement of mental health improvement means the concentration improvement, because when you are studying, you are thinking about many things. So actually you are not concentrating that. So concentrating is the key factor of success. So that has. So
along with that, we would like if you also touch upon about the teachers' trainings and all, like how do we groom our teacher?
Because the teachers who are engaging from the village, right, they are also is victim of the broken education systems. So unless you are fixing them, how they will take care of the kids. So teachers' education is very holistic part. You have to teach them how to take care of the yoga part and what is the importance of that. What is the value education and how they will take care of the holistic education part. Even in few cases, you will see that there is a gap of subject learning.
The basic delivery of subject.
So, yeah, and then how to teach. In earlier many time that in village probably they go on bully mode or thrashing mode in kids, but it is a different way of making friendship and deliver. So that kind of how to teach, so that also is an important, so teaching.
So teachers training is also a big part of this MSS, like to grooming the teachers so that they can deliver a better teaching or better delivery to the students.
Okay. Yeah, and you know how many schools we are running now?
So I think until last year we are around 25 schools we are running, and I think this year we are running 50 schools.
Yeah, and we next year 100 schools running, and
projection of 100.
So you think about that, if you are running 100 school, you are supporting more than 100 school or HS school or Madhyamik school in West Bengal, and you are creating job for 500 unemployed youth, right? Because every school is
for the teachers, and also about 100 student per center, right? So 100 to 150, yeah.
But if you take average, then actually is 10,000 kids will be benefited.
Yeah, will be benefited. Yeah. And so currently it's like 5,000 is already getting benefited in this year itself. Yeah.
So the engagement model is the whoever wants to run a school on their own by in the name of their institution or name individual name or something can sponsor with a very minimum amount, and they can run one school and then take it forward. And and then they can visit to school and see that this school is actually they are sponsoring, and this school is being run by that person.
Yeah, and I think interesting thing to also relate it here, like we also did some kind of independent assessment of this school last year, and which shows a very promising result that the students who are part of this system or these centers, they are performing better than the students who are not part of this. So that has been proved by an external auditor, right?
Yeah.
That was an interesting, I think, motivating story for.
Probably you are talking about that the Sholes one, right? So Sholes is one of the independent this auditor, impact analytics. So they were engaged by one of our donor, and it came fantastic. Out of high, probably 4.8 or something we scored. There are few of the area we are still working on improvement, but it was fantastic. And it has proven also that the result is kind of a reverse. Earlier, say for example, above 60%, it was 1/3 kids. Yeah. And below 60% is 2/3 kids. And we made the reverse pyramid. Now above 60% is 2/3 and 1/3 is below. So that has been done in this way.
Yeah.
And
one just quickly touch upon one thing, that during this pandemic situation, we have seen that the local schools were not in a condition to operate because of the situation. But I think in MSS, in few months only we were stopped, but otherwise we have able to successfully run. And today I think the kid who has not gone school for 2 years, so there is a big lag. And especially in these centers, we were trying to minimize that gap, right? And even we got request from the school or headmasters that, okay, how can you help to close that gap of 2 years that where kids didn't able to go to school during this pandemic.
This is actually the call of times, that because the time we are passing after 2 years of the 3 years of this pandemic, when that actually the education system has been actually collapsed, especially the first generation of learners.
Yeah.
So we have to work very fast, make a bridge course kind of things, close the gap of learnings, and then to make them so that they can understand their current class.
Yeah.
And it is very much required, otherwise a generation will be going
there's
back.
A gap in generation. Yeah. Okay, thank you Sankar once again. Thank you all. We have talked about Mukti Support School in this episode. In next video we will come with some more education related project. Thank you.